What's most surprising about Gusto? I think that, in my 3 years being on Gusto and you know, uh, a little over a dozen years in the management space prior to Gusto is I never thought that there'd, really be a spot to have a one-stop shop for all of the employee benefits items that I utilize on a daily basis, such as payroll, insurance, IRA, time off requests. You name it, you really can get it done through Gusto, taxes, really everything. So being able to bring everything into one centralized location saves the time, energy, and effort of saving passwords, 17 different apps. We can link to Microsoft from it. So it really does, provide us the ability to use one app or one website domain to use versus a dozen. What do we use Gusto for on a regular basis? We use Gusto on a daily basis to manage time off requests, enter in any payroll day-to-day info from that. We manage our employees' benefits and sign them up through it. We pair Gusto and have created lists in there for offer letters, hiring. And then I think that a very regular feature is, when we're onboarding new employees, we're able to create a checklist of 15 or so items, assign it to a number of members within our organization, and allow them to complete the task to ensure that we're onboarding new hires quickly, efficiently, and they're getting all the info that they needed for us to be able to retain them and for them to be successful with our company. All the reasons we chose Gusto. I think that it's hard to answer one question without, giving a very similar answer to another. Is it was, promised as a one-stop shop. And it truthfully became that and more. I think it was probably a year and a half into it that we realized that we could create these lists for onboarding new employees, a number of different tasks, including, who issued and did they issue uniforms, a handbook, an orientation. Looking back, I know there were other choices out there where we could get a number of different platforms involved, but, ultimately being able to find one that provides all of our needs has been integral in our success. Yeah. So what did we have before Gusto and why didn't it work? So we were on manual processes prior to Gusto. In the early days or the startup of the company, it made sense to kind of, buckle up and do it the hard way before we could, walk before we could run, so to speak. But the reason it didn't work is the way that our business evolved in needing to provide a variety of different benefits and options to our employees. It became really difficult to manually do those processes. We're still only a business of 7 employees total. And so I think that, that would be, and maybe you'll ask me this later, but one thing to say is it doesn't matter if you have 3 employees or 300, going to an option like Gusto is going to be really beneficial to your organization. How easy or difficult was getting started? It was easy. And there really wasn't a super big push or, forcing us to use all of the items that Gusto has. There was conversation around it during setup, but no, we were able to, they helped us set up with any question that we had. I don't think there was anything that we struggled with too much or was really a barrier in our setup process. It was seamless. And as we've, used Gusto over the last 4 years, we've been able to find little bits and more that we want to take out of it and or use from it that it's been able to help us. Yeah, what recommendation would I have for anybody considering Gusto? I think that, the one thing I would say is, understanding that you have a platform or really a company in front of you that's giving you the tools to allow you to focus your time in the other areas of your business. Oftentimes, adding new systems, new softwares to your business is going to consume a lot of your time. And you really don't see that time pay off on the other side. And I think adding Gusto has saved us countless amount of time and headaches to allow us to operate our business at the highest level we ever have, while having a partner like Gusto that's able to help us take care of everything else that we may have struggled with in the past, or may have given us a hurdle in being able to execute operations at a high level previously.